Good morning. Good morning. Today is Monday. Nice try. It's Monday. Wishful thinking, writer. He's wishing the days away. Guys, my microphone is charging right now, so bear with me. I'm going to try to keep the class quiet so that we can hear on the video recording. We are recording today's class. Last week, you guys did the map test. Give me a quick show of hands. Thumbs up, sideways, or down. How do you feel that the map test went for you? Okay. I'm seeing lots of thumbs up, and I'm super excited about that. I have not had a chance to look at all the map tests yet. I plan on doing that this evening, and I will get those back to you as soon as I can. So today we are going to first make sure we have out our social studies notebook. Can you hold up your notebook for me so I know you're ready? Very good. And your page today is a full page. I'm just going to have you fold it in half. And in your notebook, on the very next clean page, you're just going to glue down half so it'll open up. So just glue down half of it so it opens like a book. Oh, let's see if we can do this without talking. We can glue with mouths closed, I believe. No, thank you. All right, so we'll glue in this page. And just in case it ever falls out of our notebook, there is a space for your name. Put your name at the top. Okay, so today we're going to begin our talk about the early Americans who lived, excuse me, Colton, please don't talk while I'm talking. Colton, please don't talk while I'm talking. The early people who lived all over the North American continent and into Mexico. We're going to study about people who lived way up on the North Arctic Circle. We're going to study about people who lived in Alaska, but it wasn't Alaska back then. Alaska is just the name of that we give it, or it has now. We're going to learn about people who lived down the Pacific coast, across the plains, and we're going to learn about people that live on the East Coast as well. These early people did not have cars, trains, automobiles. Horses were not on the North American continent yet because horses came over with something called the Columbian Exchange we're going to study later on. Okay, they're not Irish. They're actually from China. Most farm animals, actually, we're going to learn, are from China originally and have been adapted here and maybe even changed in breeding a little bit to be in the Americas. So they didn't have horses. They did have ponies, though. They did not have ammunition, so this is before guns. So if they didn't have guns or any kind of ammunition, there were no horses. There were ponies, but not horses. How do you think people survived?
With bow and arrow.
Okay, we're going to find out. Okay, we are going to be looking at a book here in just a second. I have lots of side conversations going on, guys, and I'm not happy about it. We're going to look at a timeline. Look at the years, though. We're going to start at like year 200. Year 200. What year is it right now?
2021.
2021. We're going to go back to year 200, year 400, 600, and get up to about in the thousands, in the early thousands. So we're talking about 1,000 to 2,000 years ago. Is that a long time ago?
No.
Do you know anybody that is 1,000 or 2,000 years old?
Santa.
No. Okay. Ryder, I'm going to ask that we keep. Let's not throw out comments that are distracting to learning. Okay, Kane.
Great grandmother.
Okay, you definitely would have ancestors that lived at this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, right? So yeah, we can trace. We might not be able to trace everyone's lineage because there might not be records. But yeah, someone you were related to lived this long ago, for sure. Hands down. Hands down, please. All right, repeat after me. Archaeologist.
Archaeologist.
Glacier.
Glacier.
Kane, I asked you to stop. Civilization.
Civilization.
Irrigation.
Irrigation.
Adobe.
Adobe.
Totem pole.
Totem pole.
Potlatch.
Potlatch.
Migrate.
Migrate.
Hogan.
Hogan.
Teepee.
Tea.
Now on the next page. Lodge.
Lodge.
Travois.
Boy.
Yeah, so this is a French word, and a lot of the French words, you don't pronounce the S. It's a silent S, travois. Coop stick.
Food stick.
Slash and burn.
Slash and burn.
Longhouse.
Longhouse.
Wampum.
Wampum.
Creek Confederacy.
Creek Confederacy.
Clan.
Clan.
Okay, please stay with us. Iroquois Confederacy.
Iroquois Confederacy.
Okay, so now I would like you to open your book to page 18 and 19, please. All right, so find your social studies textbook. Looks like this.
Wait,
18 and 19, please. Okay. Grab one from off another table. Yep, you can use Grace's. That's fine. Okay. Ryder, are you on the page that looks like mine? No, you're not. Chase, does your page look like mine?
it sure is.
Very good. Thank you.
18 and 19.
Okay, now I'm going to wait for the room to be quiet before I talk again. Just eyes should be in your book. All right, so we're going to start talking about a lot of different people over 1,000 years or so. And we don't have time in 5th grade to talk about every year over thousands of years. So we're going to chunk our talk into a research project. And I'm just going to get you started today. And I want you to start thinking about, as we page through the chapter, which of these groups of people are you interested in being the expert on? You and a partner will be responsible for a Google Slides project, and you will present what you learned to the class. Kimberlyn, please scoot back to your seat. So if you look here, we have way back into year 250, pretty early. Can you put your finger on it so I know you're there? Year 250. Year 250, we see a picture of a Maya artifact. And the picture in the middle here looks pretty dark and foresty green, dark green and lots of forests.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, shh. Keep your comments in your head, please, unless you want to share them to the whole class, then raise your hand. Remember our rule number, is it rule number 1 or 2? Raise your hand if you wish to speak. Based on this picture, where did the Maya live? Where do you think? What do you think, Axel?
Central America, and they probably came from around Machu Picchu.
Central America. Why do you think Central America?
Because it's the tropicalness, but Florida is flat.
Florida is pretty tropical looking too, but not quite like this, is it?
Because it's more flat.
Yeah, this is definitely, okay, it says right here that the Maya cities arose in the rainforests of Mexico and Central America. The Maya people they left artifacts. They left temples. If your parents have ever been to Mexico, there's maybe a chance that they maybe toured the temples that still exist. So we have artifacts that tell us that there were people that lived in the rainforest, and they're famous for things like creating a calendar. Their calendar is even a little more accurate than the one we use. Interesting fact. And yeah, they lived in the rainforest. So what kinds of things do you think you would need in the rainforest if you were to survive in the rainforest? What do you think? Ryder?
Like water.
There's lots of water. It's a rainforest. So there's water. Yep.
Shelter and coverage for your body.
We'd have to have some kind of shelters because it rains a lot.
Above you to sleep in, and then some coverage for your body if it gets really cold.
And some coverage because the nights might get chilly, right? Might be cold. Yeah.
Rain clothes.
We maybe will have some kind of clothes to cover up in. Yep. And what kind of food do you think you might find in the rainforest?
Like,
Maybe, can you use your imagination and think about things that you've read about in younger years? Things that live in the rainforest? What do you think, Tristan?
tiger?
I don't know if tigers live in the rainforest. I think they're more Africa, savanna, that side of the world. But there are wild animals in the rainforest. Wild animals that you can become the expert on if you are assigned this tribe. There are also large cats, but not tigers. Tigers are on the other side of the world. Lane.
Definitely not chickens, but snakes and
Snakes. And what?
and lizards.
Lizards, geckos. Yep.
Fruit.
Fruit. Yes. In fact, Central America ends up centuries later trading fruit across the world to people who had never seen things like papayas.
What's that?
And you know, tomatoes and something else that we all love.
Cucumbers?
Chocolate.
Cocoa beans.
Cocoa beans from Central America. Yes. Okay, hands down. Okay, let's jump ahead. The year 1200 or 1200. The year 1200. Can you put your finger there? Now look at this scenery here. This is a pretty modern picture of this area in the Southwest. But the background probably looked the same even way back then. So let's read a little bit. The Navajo people settled in the Southwest about year 1200. The Navajo follow many of their traditional customs even still today. And if I look at the picture of this Navajo woman, who this looks like a modern picture, but what kind of traditions is she showing us? What do you think, Lainey? What do you think, Lainey? Yeah. Is there anything in the picture that could tell us something about the Navajo people even back then, even though it's a modern picture? What do you think, Trina? Okay. Okay, in the picture below, maybe it looks like a hut or maybe a village. Sure.
Strong.
Lane?
Desert.
Looks like it's desert. The people here, the Navajo people live where it's desert. And what is this woman wearing?
She's wearing
What is she wearing, Riley?
jewelry.
She's wearing jewelry. And do you know what that color is right here on her necklace, on her pendant? Not cyan. Starts with a T. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Teal.
Ooh, nope, not teal. Turquoise. The Iroquois people, or excuse me, the Navajo, not Iroquois. The Navajo people are famous for making beautiful jewelry out of turquoise. Yeah, and they would trade that with other tribes. Okay, jump ahead to your 1300. Put your finger on this one. Oh, there is a word that we know all about because we studied it on our map test. What's that word? The Mississippi River. Yeah. So in the year 1300, can you guys say Cahokia?
Cahokia.
Cahokia is the name of the largest city in the whole continent at the time. America, what is now America, what is now the USA. Cahokia was one of the largest cities, and it was in the Mississippi River Valley. So it was along the Mississippi River. Okay, now it says Cahokia, a large city built by Mississippian mound builders, was deserted about 1300. And it's not very far from Chicago. So this big city, Cahokia, kind of was near where Chicago is today. Okay, and let's jump to 1451. What is this word? What is it, Ryder?
Oh, I was gonna say what kind of it is.
Oh, okay, tell me.
I think they're Native Americans.
They are. All of these are Native Americans, but what? Now, these are in the northeast. Think about the northeast. What mountain range did we study in the northeast of the United States? Which one was it, Tristan?
Appalachian.
The Appalachian Mountains. And look in the background of their picture here.
It's a forest.
It's a forest. I see trees, and it kind of. Do you see leaves? Look at there, even maple leaves in the corner. So how might these people survive? Yeah, Chase.
They might hunt with their bow and arrows.
Yeah, they might hunt.
With their spears.
Yep, and it looks like some of the men here in the picture have feathers.
What's their name? How do you pronounce that?
This is Iroquois.
Iroquois.
Can you guys say Iroquois? Iroquois. Okay, so right now let's page through and learn about some of the tribes, and I want you to be thinking about which ones are you interested in. Okay. We have the early people of Mexico. We have the Olmec and the Maya, who were the earliest people. And on this page here, we can see they probably didn't live in one of these big buildings. What did they probably do? What do you do in big buildings that you are in your life?
Sleep.
What kinds of big buildings are in your life? Mariah. Okay, apartments. So if it were a house, you could have lots of places to live. This probably was not apartments. But if the people who lived here might have been royalty. A palace? It could be maybe a palace.
Looks like a jail.
Do any of you kind of go to a church that the church is a pretty big building? Now, at the Maya and Olmec didn't have churches like we have churches, but they did build temples for their beliefs. Kind of, yep. And then there is a map on this page too. So the Olmec and Maya, this is that little part in Mexico called the Yucatan Peninsula. Can you say Yucatan Peninsula? Okay, so this would be kind of hot near the Gulf of Mexico. The Caribbean islands are not far from here. Hot rainforest kind of area. Looks like they had some art and temples. If you're interested in these people, maybe you become the expert on these people. Turn the page. Now, if we look at this map here, this would be, we have this river right here. What is this river? Mississippi. And can you find the word Cahokia?
It's just right by Ohio.
Okay, it's Illinois. Illinois and Illinois did not exist as a state yet, but the Mississippi River was there. The Mississippian people were sometimes called the mound builders. So if you're kind of interested in learning about people here along the Mississippi River, you might decide to choose the mound builders. We back up to the page before. Look at these homes. What do you think these homes on page 24, what do you think they're made of?
Sand.
It kind of looks like sand or mud. Yep. So if you're interested in people that lived in the Southwest, that'd be Hocoam or Pueblo people. Okay, keep turning, keep turning. Oh, look at here, look at, this is a whale, you guys. On page 28, there's a whale.
They're whaling.
And they're in looks like a large canoe.
Ooh, they're going whaling.
People in the America. So we're going to learn about people in the California desert. We're going to learn about the Tlingit and the Inuit people up in the north. Totem poles and masks. Okay, and people of the Southwest. Oh, look at these, page 34. What kind of homes did they live in page 34? It's called a Hogan. It's a mud dome. Okay, so be thinking about which of these people interest you. Tomorrow we're going to talk more. We'll take some notes, and we will begin our assignment for our research project. I will see you tomorrow. Mañana. Bye-bye.
All right, see you guys.
Oh, stop.